what you been. Share they G, put her friend. They want a lot, not a little. I get something. Give me something. What you gonna do for that end zone? I'm in the end zone, rocking that Kenzo. My Kindle. I'm beneath though, going triple plat. I need a pack and a half. I broke up my mans, a stack and a half. I told my mama I'm bringing that bag. I got it. I'm backing. I'm on. I till I can't. Sorry, mama, yeah, I know. It was me and bro, buck on the plate. Best believe we had 50 cent cake. I let the Audemars hang from my belt, so she know we ain't got no time to waste. And I let Audemars crunch the numbers. I gotta make sure that my money straight. She wanna make sure that my money real. Kissing another. Back in the day, I ain't had no whip. I just pulled up in the tank. I'ma pull up just to stun. Can't, all in your brain. I'm going Batman, I'm going bang. Come with the bang. What you gon' do? 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 I'm finna. What you gon' do? I'm on a Sony lot, eating a lot of chips, stacking a lot of guaps. If I get it to pop, my mom get a coupe, my mom get a lot of rice. I ain't got to mouth, let that in the past. My foot on the gas, I flow elevator, we facing my brad. How you on deposit, the Venmo or cash? Red light, yellow light, green light, go. The event, so I take the bank home. I won't keep quiet, I'm in it. Yeah, my best friend want me alone. None of my bitches be your home, and I blah. I'm a businessman, so I give her a loan now. 3 pumps in the chain from the Homer. Her Bucky a goner. Get Bucky a goner. What you gon' do? 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 Up in a stunt. Hey, yo, fresh out the. Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging. Have my hand out, let me hang. Hey, break down, stay down, look what I make now. Hit boy, earthquake, boy, it's a shakedown. I done so much work, they think it's fake now. Big fish, every beat is just bait now. Got rich, some switch, they try to hate now. Leave, I'm straight, I got a rake now. Need cheese, cash app, Venmo or PayPal. Turned up, Cinemax, I'm finna break down. Flow water, big trip, boy, this a gray cloud. Highlights, ball is life, my whole take, wow. Big boss, hella chicken, I feel like Rick Ross. Why you going so damn hard? They got me off. These new can't with me. If I do a song with you, that's a luxury. Hit boy, work with you, that's a luxury. Don't step on my Crocs, D's. Fresh out the beta game in my jeans. Black, slap, what do that mean? It mean that banging. Have my hand out, let me hang. These new can't with me. If I do a song with you, that's a luxury. If Hit Boy work with you, that's a luxury. Don't step on my Crocs, these luxury. Luxury. Ha, these luxury. Ha, luxury. Ha, ha.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And just shutting him off there. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Here's a Tennessee native from just outside of Memphis, Ken Walker. He had to fight that time. Ran through one tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. Well, this defense for the Titans, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, You're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards.
Execution was one of their watchwords leading up to this one. And on that play, able to execute brilliantly here on this opening drive.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Darnold now to throw. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And the Titans are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what second down brings. And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Looking to throw. Moore. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo. And that won't buy him much room. Just a 1-yard gain to the 5.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down. Up the middle, here's Walker. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. You talk about this Titan defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
Darnold. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 29-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Walker now on 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Ball on the 27. Here's second down and 8. Here's Darnold. He completes this to Walker. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and it'll be a third and about 13.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. Myers' kick is good, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So after drive number 3 here, we have a score, and it's 3 points after the field goal.
I would say the feeling out process for both these teams, I'd say it's over, partner. Everyone understands what's going on now. You've kind of probed a little bit. Now you want to start throwing the big shots. First 3 points up on the board could be significant.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Three 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run on first down. Honor. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. The Titans at 9-1 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Let's go.
Second and 1. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Second and 10. Back to throw. Ward. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They need 2. Here's third down. Now a handoff up the middle. Bonner, and he will have a Titans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They go play action here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Bonner. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans on a first down. Put a man in motion left, Ridley. They'll look to throw here on first down. That's complete right around the 8. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Titans have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Yeah, they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week, and you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Straight ahead, Walker. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Going right back to Fant. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. To throw is Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And good yardage there on first down because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
2 yards to go, second down. Now Darnold. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Darnold to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 23. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. Open man, there's Bobo. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 2nd down and 8. Back to throw, Darnold. This is the tight end, Fant. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
They love to try to take advantage of his height, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to run it back and try it again, maybe with a little less mustard on the throw.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Darnold. That's caught over the middle by Fant. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Here's Darnold. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
They were in a very good position to come up with a go-ahead score there. A really good drive. Instead, it turns into 6 points going the other way. Psychologically, I don't know what that's going to do to them.
So as a coach, you're looking at that as at least a 10-point swing, right? Because they had the field goal in their back pocket.
They certainly did, and you're right. At least a 10-point swing, maybe more.
Extra point right down the middle. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Now Ward off the play fake. He'll complete this one. Lukaku. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Here's Ward from the gun on 3rd down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll get this one complete to Atwell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And he went in route there from the slot for the completion.
Love how he runs his routes because it's all setting up your defender. Give him a little something one way, take it the other way. Head and shoulder fake. Sometimes you make one step to the outside, then break it inside. Really well run route.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. 2nd and 2. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ward. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here at their own 23. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them. Well, they still have time to get them established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Darnold. And complete to Smith-Njigba. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10 more there and another first down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. That'll be caught by Bobo. A swift move and then tackled just on the other side of midfield. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's 2nd down.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Here's Darnold. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one good for 37 yards.
That's the kind of play this offense desperately needed. They've got to be saying, our defense has kept us in the ball game. We're down, but we're certainly not out. And maybe that was the spark that they've been searching for.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. They're going to throw for the 2 with Darnold. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, 1-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. Because if there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here we go. Shine at him on this play, ball. Let's go. Seven Pirates. Come on, keep it up.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throws left side. Atwell's got it. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now a handoff up the middle. Bonner. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air one out. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Just because you got the lead in the fourth, it doesn't mean you have to play it safe. I like the aggressive play call there to push it downfield. That time, it didn't work out.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And some room to run now. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Back to throw now on first down. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down. Oh, they're changing this at the line. They'll go for it. It's Spears. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Darnold now to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
To throw is Darnold. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
Well, this crowd is making an impact right now. 3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
4th down, 10 yards to go. Fourth down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it, but can't convert. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So you've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. Going right side here, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. He's across midfield. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And finally taken down at the 34. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. That's out to the left, flat and complete.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
An ideal down and distance to try to finish this thing off. 2nd and inches. They'll look to throw again. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have the Titans first down, and that should just about do it.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing.
definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to put them a touchdown and a two-point conversion up. And this one is right through. And that'll push the lead up to 8. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be 2nd down.
This defense has been so stingy all game long. No reason to think it's suddenly going to open up now. They took their shot, but this, like many others, falls incomplete.
Darnold to throw. He'll get that to Charbonnet. And he'll be brought down after a gain of about 9, and compounding things, it's now 3rd down as well.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Darnold. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
He's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway, once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for the Titans, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Seattle, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
You gotta lose yourself to find yourself again. Welcome back, Marlena.
Yeah. One for the money and one for the homies. I move with respect. I don't need nothing on me. The Father may wait for me. Feel just like Bronny. I got my little belly, my blessings. They on me. They rain and they rain. Yeah, you see how I'm coming. Come on. This sound like we drumming. I reach on my goals like my nephew be dope. Averix, homie, I'm tougher than homie Javante. The fight is my mantra. I want it, I